name is John Twist of University Motors. Today I want to talk about Lucas Windtone horns. But first, since this is July 2015, I want to say a few words about our summer party coming up on August 8th. So this is the party. This is our 30. I just wrote this stuff down. This is like our 31st party in 38 years or something. And next year there's not going to be a summer party because there's a big Indianapolis or a meet in Louisville, an all-register meet. And quite frankly, with the number of meets going on and the amount of energy I have to put to it, this is going to be our last one. I know I've done this before, but hasn't Cher had more than one last world tour? You know, anyway, this is my last. This is my last summer party, our last world tour. But that said, let's talk about the horns. Lucas Windtone horns. They're big, they're nice, they make a lot of noise. Depending on how many swirls there are in the bottom, the fewer the swirls, the higher the pitch. So this is a high note horn, H. There's one with twice as many curls here, and that's got an L for a low note. The resonance between those two notes gives that wonderful MG horn sound that you cannot duplicate. There's a spring steel mount because you can't mount it to anything because the whole thing vibrates so let's take our spring mount. We're going to put that in the vise, and the cover comes off. It's pretty easy. And inside, just like inside the distributor, inside the fuel pump, we've got some points. We got a capacitor up here. I think that's a capacitor. Never taken it apart to make sure. And I'm looking for my little strip of paper that I can, there we go. Here's my strip of paper. And I'm going to clean the points here, pull this guy open, put my piece of paper in here, and tug as best as I can and clean these points. You know, the horns, good grief. The horns take more energy than anything else in the car except for the starter motor. They really, that's why in 1951 they were no longer wired through the ammeter on the TDs. So, because it just makes the ammeter jump all over the place. So we're going to get these things. Now I'm not a musician, so I can't tell you how exactly to tune the horn, only that I tune it so it's the loudest. That's the way that I do it, and that seems to work. So the points are pretty clear here. Now down in here there's a jam nut and a nut to adjust the points. And that's the 4BA. I don't know if you can read on the wrench, but 4BA. So because these are Lucas. So here we go. Here's our. Now, if I'm just doing this myself, I can let the horn honk forever and adjust it while I'm working. But if there's anybody else in your neighborhood who might be listening, you're going to drive them absolutely crazy. You can see there's quite a spark here. Okay, so we're going to adjust this guy so that he makes, as best as we can tell, the most noise. So move him up 2. Oops, too far. 1, 2. It's pretty loud. 1, 2. Sounds about the same to me. And I'm going to have another BA wrench here. Anyway, that range there, it isn't going to change, so I think that's probably pretty good. But you really need 2 of these, one to change the points, the the nut on top of the points here, and one for the jam nut. But that sounds pretty good. Of course, it's driving you crazy listening to it. So the earlier horns did not have this capacitor in them, and the windings would often burn up because that's so much current. So anyway, that's simple Windtone horns. There's a fella in Medfield, Massachusetts, Laurie Rhodes. I don't know if he still repairs horns or not, but he used to. Windtone horns, and then the early TC horns, which are called clear hooters. A bunch of different horns that were used at the time. Anyway, that's a real simple explanation of the horns, and you can take them apart. These are, I mean, if you want to, you can take them. You know, this thing's got nuts and everything. You can take the whole thing apart and clean all the individual components. Just be cautious because things are stacked carefully here. The power inputs are isolated by pieces of mica, but you can do these really well. Paint them. I've never seen anyone polish them up. That'd take a while with a Dremel, huh? But usually they're just painted. So that's my little explanation about Lucas Windtone horns. So think about a summer party. Come on along if you can. And until later, safety fast.